I remember how the clock echoed that night, each tick pressing against my chest like a weight I couldn't escape. After 24 years of marriage, I found myself pacing the living room, feeling more like a visitor than the man who had built this home. The table was set, dinner long gone cold, candles never lit. Diane had said she was spending the evening with her friends, but I knew better. I had seen the change in her eyes, the shift in her tone, the way her laughter no longer belonged to me. She wasn't with her friends. She was with someone else. It hadn't started all at once. The warning signs crept in gradually. She guarded her phone as if it held state secrets. She spent longer in front of the mirror, dressed differently, smiled at messages she wouldn't share, and carried a scent of cologne that wasn't mine. I tried to dismiss it, told myself I was imagining things. After all, we had built a life together. 2 children, a house, holidays and heartbreaks, even grief we had survived side by side. Who betrays all of that? But when she told me she had a girls' night and slipped into a black dress I hadn't seen in years, my doubts turned into certainty. The effort she put in wasn't for me, it was for him. I could have confronted her before she walked out that door. I could have begged for answers or shouted in anger. Instead, something inside me hardened. I thought about the sacrifices I had made for us, long nights working, dreams I had set aside, years spent giving her everything I could. If she had chosen to betray me after all that, she didn't deserve another argument. She deserved the consequences. When she left with a smile that wasn't meant for me, I picked up the phone. My lawyer had been waiting for my call. "Tonight," I said. "Send the server tonight." The hours dragged. I sat in silence, staring at our wedding photo on the mantel, her lace gown, my oversized suit, our smiles full of promises we never kept. I whispered to that photograph, asking what had happened to forever. The house felt hollow. Every sound reminded me that she was somewhere else, giving her laughter and her touch to another man. Finally, the tires crunched on the driveway. Diane walked in, cheeks flushed, perfume heavy, a spark in her eyes I hadn't seen directed at me in years. She froze when she saw me waiting. "Tom," she said softly, surprised. Before she could explain, there was a knock. A man in a suit handed her an envelope. "You've been served." Her face drained as she clutched the papers. I looked at her and said, "Divorce papers." She stammered, tried to defend herself, tried to say it wasn't what I thought, but I had seen enough. After 24 years, I told her, "You spent the night with someone else. Don't insult me with excuses." She wept, begged, said she felt something missing, that I had been distant, too focused on work. I almost laughed at the irony. Every late night, every sacrifice was for her, for our family, for this life. And yet she had chosen another man. She called it a mistake, something unplanned. I called it betrayal. The memories of our life together, our children's births, the grief we carried, the laughter we once shared, all felt tainted now. She asked if I really wanted to throw away everything we'd built. I told her she had already thrown it away the moment she chose someone else over me. That night, I told her I'd sleep in the guest room. Tomorrow, she could start packing. She begged me to believe she still loved me. I told her she didn't love me. She loved the convenience of me. And I walked away, leaving her sobbing. The weeks that followed were a blur of lawyers and broken conversations with our kids. My daughter cried, blaming herself. My son's anger burned so deep he could barely look at her. Diane pleaded for another chance, but every memory of her betrayal kept me firm. When the divorce was finalized, we sat across from each other in silence. Her face was pale, her eyes swollen with tears. "I never thought it would end like this," she whispered. "Neither did I replied. "But you made sure it did." She reached for me one last time, and I pulled away. That was the last moment we ever shared. Months later, the house still feels empty, but also lighter. I sometimes set 2 plates by habit, still catch the faint trace of her perfume. But the silence doesn't crush me anymore. It heals. Betrayal doesn't just break you. It reshapes you. It forces you to see who you are, without the person you thought you couldn't live without. The night Diane went on her date, I sent someone to deliver the truth she had been hiding from me. It was the hardest decision of my life, but it saved me because in the end, this wasn't only about a betrayal. It was about reclaiming my dignity, my peace, and the years I refused to let her waste any longer. And that was worth more than 24 years of broken promises.